I'm fighting a road runner. I'm the Coyote. You chose me. I ain't choose you. You chose me. So I'm gonna tell you straight the F up. You could go back to 135. We'll send you back to lightweight. You still got your WBC belt. You're gonna be fine. Shakur will fall.
I want to say it was the Danza Project. You was sitting there doing the interview, and I want to say that's what you said, yeah.
So about like 2 years ago.
Yeah, you said I can't move up.
It was 2 years ago. Change. It's changed.
Okay, so you
Like,
respect it now?
No, it's not that I respect it. It's just that from what I was going off of was the present moment. I think he was fighting at 30. You feel me?
Yeah.
I was already going up to the 40s. I was already at 40.
Yeah, for sure.
So you see that 10-pound gap. I was thinking I was probably gonna move up to 47 a little bit.
Okay, seeing me, you think I'm smaller in person or like, what do you think?
I know nothing.
Okay.
I know nothing.
What is that accent? But taking Teo's own words, again, he believes he's a different fighter than Shakur, but Teo has moved up and is moving up past where you would say Teo maybe should even be fighting. 147? It's a big weight class for a guy of Teo's size. But first off, what is this pause frame I've got on Shakur? But Teo's a clown, dude. He's so funny. I know nothing.
I think that was your angle with Lomachenko. Like, I felt like you knew how little Lomachenko was, and you kind of capitalized off of that.
Heck no, that man was a lot to deal with. Y'all don't understand, the man was #1.
Facts.
Yeah,
Over
sure.
Canelo, over Crawford, over Inu.
But you don't think that the size advantage kind of helped you?
Bro, styles make fights, not the size.
I agree with that. I'm with you on that. I called on Teofimo for this fight to happen because I wanted to prove myself and prove how great that I am. So, come fight night, like I said, I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure I come out victorious, but I wanna prove how great I am. Like, I want the world to see the greatness within my skill set, the boxer that I am. Like, after we get out the ring, I want everybody to be talking about that. Like, yeah, I'm that guy.
You're not gonna get that all the time. If you go for people's expectations, if you go for people's expectations on what you're gonna get after that, you're gonna always be disappointed.
I ain't worried about the people. It's the fact that I want to show what level I'm on. You always gotta strive for something, whether it's anything you're gonna strive for. So at the end of the day, when I'm striving for something, I put a goal up there.
That's how
I'm
I know
gonna tackle my goal. And if I don't get it, I don't get it. But I'm damn sure giving it 1,010 and 100% to get it. So we're gonna see.
You're about to say something there. That's how you know what?
It's just how I know where we lie.
Okay.
That's how I know where we lie.
Where we lie?
We're so different, bro.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's why you're southpaw, I'm orthodox, and that's
exactly. We're not meant to be the
We're
same.
not meant to be the same.
No.
Listen, both of them are right to me. Like, where's Shakur? I'm a Virgo. So how Shakur Stevenson moves, I completely get that.
Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson has already divided the boxing community before a single punch is delivered. While some experts think Shakur's patience, defense, and ring IQ will subtly seize control round by round, others see Teofimo's explosiveness and timing as the ideal disruptor. Chaos versus control, power versus accuracy, and everyone seems certain that their side is correct. Whose vision truly survives fight night is the true question.
Shakur is going to be and do whatever he needs to do to win the fight. Exciting, boring, whatever the hell you want to say, it don't matter. He already gave you a damn banger. Yeah, he gave you a banger, a classic in his last fight. Yeah, so he gotta be smart, he gotta be in tune, he gotta be sharp, and he gonna beat and outbox and have freaking, what's that boy name? Yeah, Teofimo Lopez Sr. in the corner saying all kind of ninjas. Get that ninja, get that mother effing ninja. He gonna have him saying all kind of stuff inside the damn corner. Yeah.
While Richardson Hitchens thinks Teofimo Lopez has the ability to add interest, he cautions that this fight will be a harsh reality check. While acknowledging Teofimo's talents, he emphasizes Shakur Stevenson's superior defense and high-level boxing IQ as the obvious distinction. According to Hitchens, you can't truly comprehend that gap until you're on the other side of the ring.
Being that he has a big fight with Teofimo Lopez, January 31st, how do you see that fight playing out? You know, what do you think?
Man, Shakur finna fuck Teo up. I don't know. I'm telling you, Teo better wake the fuck up. I mean, at the end of the
Do
day,
you think it's competitive though? It's close.
yeah, I think it can be competitive.
Yeah.
You know, Tio is real gifted. Shakur is real defensive, and you know, I feel like when a fight is super defensive, it can play against you also. You know, because if you go in there trying to be really defensive, it can play against you. But Shakur's a high level boxer, and Tio ain't on Shakur level. Tio know that, and like I told Tio when I see him, I said it's different. He told me that me and Shakur is used to each other. That's why I feel like it's different. He said Shakur not used to him.
Eddie Hearn, on the other hand, believes that Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson is a high-level thinking match rather than an early shootout. He anticipates a tactical, cautious beginning in which both fighters read reactions, set traps, and rely on ring intelligence and deft footwork. Hearn believes that in a match this close, little moments and razor-thin rounds are likely to determine everything, so the advantage could go to whoever chooses to take control first.
How do you see it shaping up with Shakur and Tio?
I think it's a fight that could be a little bit of a chess match early on. You know, you've got two guys that are very reactive, two guys that are super sharp, two guys that like to feint and set traps, and two guys with tremendous boxing IQ and footwork. So generally that lends itself to a fight that's going to be quite nip and tuck and a little bit of a chess match early on. I think the fight could be won maybe by the person that takes the fight by the scruff of the neck. You know, sometimes in those kind of fights it can be a very close fight with very close rounds. Neither fighter will want to be reckless. Neither fighter will want to make mistakes because they know they'll get punished.
Hearn believes fights this close are decided by who's willing to take control when the margins are razor thin. He points to Shakur Stevenson's elite skill set and historic resume, while noting that Teofimo Lopez is at his best when the moment is biggest. With legacy on the line and a sold-out Madison Square Garden, Hearn sees this as two fighters in their prime colliding on the grandest stage. In his view, that kind of setting brings out truths you can't hide once the bell rings.
But sometimes you have to take the fight by the scruff of the neck in a fight like that. And perhaps the one that does it could edge out those close rounds.
Who has more to lose in that fight, do you think?
Good question. Look, for Shakur, I think Shakur is massively underrated in terms of his achievements and his ability. Everyone in boxing knows how good Shakur is. He is pound for pound, top 5 in terms of quality. But look at the achievements of the young man. At 28 years of age, he's already a 3-division world champion. This is to become a 4-division world champion. Quite remarkable. And Teofimo always rises to the occasion. Sometimes you see a little bit of a lackluster performance when he's not motivated, when there isn't kind of any legacy on the line. This is different. This is a sold-out Madison Square Garden between two of the elite fighters of our generation. And the best thing about this fight is we're seeing them in their prime. And that's what we need to make great fights. As I said, sold out Madison Square Garden, live on the zone, ring 6. It's a massive night of boxing.
Building on Hearn's view of a tactical, high-stakes showdown, Wade Plemons expects Shakur Stevenson to lean into patience and precision. Rather than charging forward or throwing heavy volume, Shakur will likely focus on defense to offense transitions, reading Teofimo, and setting traps throughout the fight. Plemons believes his plan is to disrupt Lopez's rhythm, limit his punches and momentum, and gradually take control, starving him of the flow that makes him dangerous. If executed well, this approach could frustrate Teofimo and tilt the fight in Shakur's favor.
The way he's talking about how he wants to perform makes me think we are going to get I won't say, you know, prototypical Shakur fight, but I think he's going to fight very defensively to offense. I don't think he's going to be on the front foot. I don't think he's going to be looking to mix it up in scraps. I don't think he's going to be looking to throw a ton of volume early in the fight especially. I think he wants to, you know, do the typical download and assess and then try to set traps for Tio in the fight continuously and then eventually turn the temperature down on Tio and essentially try to starve him, right? Starve him of punches, starve him of volume, starve him of momentum and rhythm, right? Like Tio's a big time rhythm fighter with his feet, with his movement. Once he gets in that flow, it's a little bit tough to stop that ball rolling down the hill. If Shakur can just be an interrupter in this fight and interrupt timing, interrupt rhythm, interrupt momentum, I could see that being the way he wants to approach it and frustrate.
However, Pierre predicts Shakur Stevenson will stick to a measured outside game against Teofimo Lopez. He believes Shakur won't trade like he did in his last fight, knowing Lopez's power is a real threat. According to Pierre, Shakur's plan will be to frustrate Teofimo, control the distance, and keep the fight largely uneventful, though a few clean shots from Lopez could shake things up. Overall, he sees Shakur edging out a win in a tactical, controlled bout.
So when it comes to Shakur and Teo, I feel like if it's not if Teo's not fighting someone that's being aggressive, pressing him a little bit, he taps out. And I feel like Shakur is not going to trade the way he did in the last fight because he knows he's going up in weight and Teo has power, obviously. So I believe that this is going to be one of those fights where he kind of fights on the outside, frustrates him a little bit. I expect it to be a fairly boring fight. But if Teo lands some good shots, it could become interesting. But I don't see that really happening. So I think Shakur will win in a fairly uneventful fight.
Sean Porter agrees with Pierre, but adds that Teofimo's athleticism can disrupt timing, which could challenge Shakur. Still, he highlights Shakur's ability to read and adjust, finding openings even with space and feints. Porter believes the fight won't be boring, noting Teofimo thrives as an explosive counterpuncher when opponents press forward, so the dynamics could shift if Shakur keeps him guessing.
I'll tell you what, I think I like what Pierre said. You know, the twitchiness, that athleticism that Teofimo has is what gives someone like Shakur problems because it throws off his timing.
Yep.
Shakur is flat out amazing. I've watched this kid. He can find anybody's time.
Right.
So if you give him the space with just lot of feints and stuff like that, he gonna still pick it up and he's still gonna find it. I got a feeling this thing is not gonna be boring and dry because I got a feeling you're right. By nature, Teofimo is a counterpuncher. He's an explosive counterpuncher. He does not know how to punch. He can't really set it up first the way that he can when someone...
Porter paints the fight as a classic clash of styles. Shakur as the calculated lion, Teofimo as the unpredictable wild card. He sees Shakur controlling the pace and making measured moves, while Teofimo remains capable of sudden game-changing moments. For Porter, it's a battle of patience versus unpredictability, with the outcome hinging on whether the hyena can land enough to rattle the lion.
We already know Shakur ain't gonna have a lot of offense for him. But at the same time, I think about it like this. Shakur is an ace of spades, but Teofimo Lopez is a wild card. He's still liable to do anything at any point in time. And I just got a feeling that it's gonna be like a Tasmanian, well, like a hyena and a lion, you know. And it's like, is the hyena gonna be able to pounce on the lion enough to get the job done, or is the lion just gonna be able to make his moves, do what he need to do, and snap at him and get him when he want him to? You know, the lion being.
And then Gary Russell breaks it down as a clash of brains versus brawn. He leans slightly toward Shakur Stevenson, valuing intellect and strategy over raw athleticism, but admits it's a 50-50 fight. Russell sees Shakur succeeding if he boxes smart, moves well, controls the ring, and punishes mistakes. Still, Teofimo Lopez can make things tricky with bursts of controlled aggression, timed spurts that force Shakur onto the defensive and test his composure. Furthermore, Mikey Garcia sees this as a fascinating matchup with one key uncertainty: which Teofimo Lopez will show up, the explosive fighter who beat Lomachenko and Taylor, or one of his off nights. He suggests that Lopez could try to leverage his size and strength at this weight class, but warns it won't be easy. Shakur Stevenson's defense, speed, and footwork make him exceptionally difficult to crack, meaning there's no simple formula for success against him. At the end of the day, Garcia believes it will come down to who can impose their style first and control the pace of the fight. Moreover, Brian Norman expects Shakur Stevenson to edge out Teofimo Lopez, and he points to one key factor: discipline. He praises Shakur's patience and focus, noting that he isn't concerned with crowd reaction or flash. He's focused solely on winning. Norman believes Shakur's measured approach will frustrate Teofimo, making him overeager and forcing mistakes which Shakur can then exploit. While acknowledging Teofimo's talent and athleticism, Norman leans toward Shakur pulling it off with composure and smart ring management. Building on Brian Norman's take, Timothy Bradley Jr. adds that Shakur Stevenson's last fight was actually tougher than what he'll face against Teofimo Lopez. He stresses that no matter the pressure, power, or style Teofimo brings, Shakur will do whatever it takes to win. Discipline and fight IQ, Bradley argues, are Shakur's ultimate weapons, and fans shouldn't expect anything less than a calculated performance on January 31st. If Teofimo wants to win, he'll have to find a way to disrupt Shakur's rhythm without falling into his traps. Following Timothy Bradley Jr.'s point about Shakur's discipline and fight IQ, Mickey Bay calls Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez the most exciting fight of the year so far. He applauds Shakur for taking a big ballsy step up, noting that Teofimo is a wild card who thrives against top competition. Bay believes Shakur's poise and discipline will ultimately make the difference, predicting a win for Stevenson, though he also warns that this fight could be the first time Shakur gets buzzed or hurt. Continuing his take, Mickey Bay sees Shakur Stevenson ultimately edging out Teofimo Lopez, though he admits Teo could take the first few rounds. Bay highlights Shakur's consistency, discipline, and deep understanding of his own game as the factors that will carry him to a decision win. While not necessarily a casual fan spectacle, he calls it a must-watch for true fight fans, noting that Teofimo has weapons, but Shakur's poise and execution set him apart. Additionally, Floyd Diaz predicts Shakur Stevenson will get the win over Teofimo Lopez, though he expects a more methodical, less flashy fight than many anticipate. He sees it as a clash of styles and intellect where both fighters are too smart to make big mistakes. With little room for clean, high-volume action, Diaz believes Shakur's discipline and ring IQ will carry him to the decision. In his view, anyone looking for fireworks might be surprised, but the strategic mastery will be on full display. So, what's your take? Who's walking out with the win on January 31st? Will it be Shakur Stevenson's calculated precision or Teofimo Lopez's explosive power that decides the fight? Drop your predictions in the comments, share your thoughts, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any fight breakdowns.